Yo, what's up? Name is JetLeo1, and the game in the background is, well, you know what it is. You've seen it everywhere, probably. But it's in the background for a reason, because this is the game that I was thinking of when I came up with this topic, and the question is one terrible fault, maybe, like, it may be really bad, but is one bad thing about a game enough to sit there and say that it's just a terrible game? Because I've seen everywhere, and from everyone about this game, that like the connections and the lag compensation, just everything dealing with how you are connected to the game is just terrible, and the gameplay actually kind of demonstrates that, because it's from theater mode, and theater mode shows you what the server saw, not what you actually saw. So you're gonna see some stuff that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna be staring at people and then get shot, but I actually shot at them in the actual gameplay, stuff like that. But yeah, everybody's like, oh, these connections are just terrible, and the lag compensation's bad. I'm emptying 10 shots into people, and it's not seeing any of them. And that guy managed to run past a prone sniper, and like stood on top of him somehow, stuff like that. And now some other people do whine that like the skill-based matchmaking is bad because it's hard to do good, but that's exactly what they are aiming for. So you telling Treyarch that is saying, hey, good job guys, you succeeded in what you were aiming for. But like the one main problem with this game is the connections. And now I may just be sort of just, I don't know what the word would be. I'm just acceptant of it, I guess, of having a bad connection, because I live in Texas, and according to the very, very reliable source of speedtest.net, showing the average speeds from tests from people in regions, Texas has, if I remember correctly, the slowest internet speeds in the entire United States of America. So I'm just used to having a terrible connection no matter what the game is. I'm used to it lagging, I'm used to getting screwed over by the lag. So it doesn't bother me, but I can see how it would bother everyone else. But it's just one problem, and meanwhile, one of my favorite YouTubers, Maximilian, and this is like the one time I ever really disagree with him, because he's usually really smart, but he went and said that the game plays like ass. No. The game plays perfectly fine. Occasionally it spikes up and does bad, but it's not bad 100% of the time. The lag compensation and connections are not always terrible. And anyways, that's more not really the game's fault, it's the fault of Activision for being too lazy to say, hey guys, here's some money to go buy servers so you can stop using that terrible, terrible, terrible system of having people host the games on their connections. So yeah, that's not even really a game thing, it's an Activision thing. But sitting there and saying it's just bad because that one thing, that doesn't fly with me. That just doesn't fit right. It seems to ring all the bells of, hey, this wasn't thought out well enough, and that's kind of odd considering that usually people are more educated on stuff like this. And I just don't get it. So this is what I ask you, and I'm asking myself and trying to say, is that, like, if there's one problem, like, even if it's huge, is one problem enough to say a game is bad? Like, I'll tell you straight up, Modern Warfare 3 was bad, but I could also list at least 20 things about how bad that was. I already made a video about how bad it was, and I justified myself exactly why I said that was bad, but this only has one thing wrong with it, and people are like, nah, it's not that good, it's not that bad, like, it's not that good. And here I think it's like the best Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, and it stands out among itself. It actually feels like a legitimate, full-out game that people put care into. But then others are like, oh, the connections are bad, I don't care anymore. But they forget campaign, they forget zombies, all that. Both of those are incredibly amazing, but I know I can forgive the forgetting that because most of the people on like YouTube and Twitter and stuff, they play for the multiplayer. So the multiplayer being bad is going to be pretty much all they see. But still, you can't really, in my opinion, you can't go and say something is just bad, or you can't place judgment period over one thing. If only one thing is wrong with it in my book, that's a really good thing, because again, like with Modern Warfare 3, they could have hundreds of stuff wrong with it and have like game-breaking glitches and terrible overpowered weapons and nothing making sense whatsoever, and lag compensation where people do 360 no-scope Y-wise and you're just standing there even though from your screen you sprinted halfway across the map. Stuff like that, yeah, that's terrible, but if there's only one thing, no matter how big it is, you can't just say it's trash. You can't. It doesn't work like that. That's not how things roll, in my opinion. But I think if anybody actually sees this video, it's going to be interesting to see anybody who is of the opposite opinion of, yes, one thing can ruin an entire game. I'd like to see the feedback on that. But like, that right there was a case in point example of what's up with the connection, because it like instantly switched to my 5.7. It just instantly teleported to the 5.7. Well, in the game, I actually switched there and was looking at the dude, and it's like, dude, are you alright? No? Okay, shoot you with 5.7, we're good, continue the match. But like, in the theater mode recording, which is what the connection saw, he was like, he got pretty much just turned on bad because of the connection. But I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe, yeah, something as big as like connecting to online multiplayer is worth saying that it's trash, but I don't feel so. I think that you're gonna need a bunch of problems to be able to say that something is bad. Now, I have like a bunch of words for rating, and bad is actually, bad isn't the bottom. The bottom is just trash, period. That's it. Or no, the bottom is nope, period. And this is nowhere near nope, but people are putting it on trash, which is really low on my scale, and that I just don't get it. It's one problem. It's one problem. Can you not live with one problem? Like, if you have a headache, are you not okay with life? Are you just sitting there? It's like, I have a headache, I'm not going to do anything. I can't do anything, I'm not even going to bother. I'm not going to even get up to get a Tylenol. It's one problem. Now, I know the life example is kind of stupid, and that guy too got screwed, because dexterity, quick draw handle, and connection advantage means my sight is up and in your face instantly. But yeah, whatever. Leave a comment if you have anything to say, especially if you're like, one thing can ruin a game, because I'd like to see your justification. I don't think I did that well on this video, but whatever. This has been Gently One. I'll see you next time.